Hi everyone, and welcome back to Beverly's Design Time. Last year I purchased one of these heart-shaped bowls from Dollar Tree, and I created a really cute jewelry box. I actually made a lid for it using some of the Dollar Tree foam board. So for this project we're going to need the bowl, of course. I'm also going to use some gems. I have some of these utility knives from Dollar Tree. We're going to use some Mod Podge and glitter to do our Mod Podge and glitter mixture. Some bling wrap that I picked up from Amazon. We're going to be using some silver spray paint. You don't have to use Krylon. You can use whatever kind you want or have. And I'm also going to add this chopping mat this time around. I didn't use this last year, but I'm going to use this time around. We're going to use the glue gun. We're also going to use some of the glass discs that they sell at Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and grab those too later. We're going to use those for feet on the bottom of the jewelry box. So let's just get started. So let's just turn this around so you can get a better look. So the first thing I want to do is just go ahead and outline the heart. I'm just using one of my granddaughter's crayons. Just like that. I have this nail design tool that my older daughter left over here, so I'm just going to borrow this for a second. I just want to give it a slight indentation. I could have actually used this to trace the outside of the bowl, but I want you guys to see the heart on the foam board. You can do this with a pencil or whatever. Just giving it a little bit of indentation. That'll make it easier to cut. So now I'm going to take one of my Dollar Tree utility knives and just push it up, and since it's a fresh blade, I don't have to break it. If it starts to dull out, all you need to do is just push it up and then break it. You'll see the line right there. Alright, so let's just go around and cut this out. Okay, we'll just push it out. And you might have to go back in and cut some more. Alright, so there you have your heart. Perfect. Alright, so what you want to do is take your scissors and clean it up if you need to. So we're going to put this aside. So now what you want to do is flip this over and trace the bottom. And there's a reason for this, and I'll show you. Then go ahead and cut that out as well. Okay, then pop that out. Okay. So what I want to do is glue this heart on the bottom of the bigger heart in order for it to sit right on top of the jewelry box. So as I see, it's a little bit too big, so what I want to do is just go around and trim this heart out. Alright. So it should sit right on the inside like that. So that's perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and set both of these aside for now. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and do the same thing to this chopping mat. So you actually get two mats in this pack. Okay, so we have a frosty side and then we have a shiny side. I think I want to use the frosty side as the top side, so I'm going to take my heart-shaped bowl again and trace it out. And now I'll use the scissors to cut it out. put that aside. So now what I want to do is put these together and see how they fit together. And I might have to trim some of the foam board away. So yeah, I see right here, the foam board is a little bit long, so is it? Yeah. I need to trim a little bit of the foam board. All right, let's try it again. I just need to trim the foam board a little bit more on the side. Okay, so that's perfect. So I'll go ahead and grab my Gorilla Glue, and I'm also going to use some of my hot glue to glue these two pieces together. So now I'll go ahead and glue these two pieces together, and I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree Fix-All and my hot glue. Line it up and press it down. I don't know, it's sticking pretty good so far, so I don't think I'm going to use the hot glue. So I'm just going to set this aside for now and add some more of the Fix-All around the edges. Oh yeah, I like this so much better. Why didn't I think of this last year? I think I was just happy to figure out a way to make a lid. Alright, so let's just go ahead and glue the bottom part on. Okay, so let's give it a try. Perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this set up for about an hour. And then I'm going to take it outside and spray it with the spray paint. Let that dry. And then come back and we'll decorate the top. Okay guys, I spray painted it silver. And I put this penny right in the middle because I forgot to show you something in the beginning. We're going to need a knob for the top of the lid. I have more of these drawer knobs, so I'm going to use one of these instead, and I just wanted to leave an opening to glue this down. So before I glue that down, I'm going to go ahead and do my Mod Podge and glitter mixture, put a couple of coats on here, and then I'll move on to the next step. And just brush it on. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and let the top coat dry, come back, do the second coat, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay guys, I'm back, and this is what the base of the lid looks like. It's really shiny and pretty. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and add some of my gems. So pretty much I'm just going to lay these down and get an idea of where I want them to be. And look, there's a heart shape. Maybe I'll put that one right there. Pretty much you just want to randomly put them down and then fill in the spaces with some of the smaller gems. So pretty much just add your gems however you see fit here. And I'm going to use my hot glue because, like I said before in previous videos, when you use regular glues, they tend to dull the gems down. Just press down on it for a minute. And that's it. Just keep adding your gems. You see I have some glue that seeped out this one, so try not to add too much glue. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue this, and I'll speed up the video so you guys can watch. Okay guys, I'm back, and I did not realize my camera had stopped recording. So this is where I'm at so far. So now what I want to do is just go ahead and add the handle on top of my lid. And I'm just going to use my hot glue for that. I'm using the Gorilla Stick, so it should hold pretty well. Press down and let that set. This is gorgeous. Okay, so let's give this a trial run. This is what we have so far. So I'm just going to fill in a few more spaces with some of the smaller stones, and then I'll come back and we'll continue on with the DIY. Okay guys, I'm back. I went ahead and removed the knob because the glue really wasn't holding it on tight enough. So what I did was took a screwdriver, and here I have a Phillips head, a small one, and just put a hole right in the center. Now if you decide to use a knob, it's going to come with a screw. Now this particular screw is actually too long. I do have some shorter screws. After the video, I'll just go ahead and add a shorter screw. I'm not sure what the length is, but I'll leave it in the description box. So you would just screw that on there, and that would hold it in place. Like that. And you see I have this much extra. You could actually put a nut and maybe some washers to take up the slack for this also, if you don't want to get a shorter screw. So that's another way to handle that. But look at how pretty that is. This is gorgeous. But we're not done. So what I want to do now is go ahead and add some bling to the base of it as well. And I'm going to use some of the glass discs that I talked about at the beginning of the video to add feet to the bottom as well. So I'm going to be using this mesh bling. And I could cover it totally. Let's see what that looks like. And that's really pretty, but I want to do a band around the top and a band around the bottom because I still want to be able to see inside the dish. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the mesh and put some around top and around the bottom. Let me measure this and see how much I need. Okay, so that's more than enough. I'm also going to add a strip of bling around the lid as well. So let's just get started. On the silver one that I did last year, I think I put 2 rows of bling at the top and 3 at the bottom. And I think I'll do the same thing with this one. So I am going to start in the back of the heart. I'm going to put the bottom row on first, and I'm using some more of the Fix All adhesive. And I'm just going to spread some rather thinly around. And just lay it down on top of the glue. Turn it sideways if you need to make sure it's lined up properly. Hold this in place. And I might have to add a couple of beads of the hot glue to hold this in place as I go around it. And the good thing about using the Fix All instead of the hot glue, if you find out that your wrap is going on crooked, then you can just go ahead and move it before it dries. Okay, right here at this point is where I think I need to add some hot glue. So I'm just going to add a couple of drops. Alright, so now I'll just do the same thing for the top part. Okay, now I've completed wrapping the bling around my heart, and I did smear some of the glue here, so I'll just clean it up with a razor blade later. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and let that dry. I also want to get away from the odor of the glue, so now I'll just go ahead and put this aside, come back and use my hot glue gun to wrap this bling around the lid. Okay guys, I'm back and the glue has completely dried. Look how beautiful that is. Just by adding some simple Dollar Tree bling to this, kicked it up a notch. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and use some of these Dollar Tree glass gems to make feet for my box. And if you notice, some are smaller, some are a little bit larger than the other one. So I picked out 3 that's pretty close together. So what I want to do is flip these over because I want the flat part to be on the bottom. So I'm just going to add one here, here, and here. Alright, so to do that I'm going to be using my hot glue gun, and I'm using the Gorilla glue sticks. Alright, so now just flip it over. And now you have feet. Alright guys, so here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's put the lid on. Perfect. Look at how gorgeous this turned out. Beautiful. And I like that I left it open here so you can see what's on the inside. But yeah, that's it, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Alright guys, so that's it for now. I hope you liked this DIY, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe now. And if you are, please make sure that you have your post notifications on so you don't miss my next upload. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.